Hi guys, this is Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto, and today we're taking a look at a 2001 Mercedes-Benz CL500, and this one has been modified with a super crazy wide body kit, super offset 19-inch wheels, and has the 5-liter V8. The look of the car is pretty extreme. I really don't know what to say about the car other than wow, this is pretty crazy. It's been widened on both the front and the rear. Rear's been widened a good maybe 4 inches or so. And so let's take a look at the car and inside, outside, see what the modifications are and whatnot. And so mechanically, I mean, engine wise, it looks to be completely stock. This is the stock 5-liter V8. Although the badges on the back say that this one is an AMG, it is not actually an AMG. That one there sounds like it's the air pump because it has air suspension, and that's stock from the factory air suspension. Right now it's on the lowest setting, and then you can have 2 different settings. You can put it up about another 2 to 3 inches or so. So it's a pretty significant amount of travel. And keep in mind that is stock, and it does function perfectly on this car. Okay, I'm going to close the hood here. Not really much to say other than the fact that this one has the real version of the dipstick, not just the pretend one that the last CL we had looked at had. That one had the V12, 6-liter V12. I'm gonna close that, give you a quick little look of the car before we go over the auction sheet. Okay, and so let's see what we have here. 110,442 kilometers, which for this type of car is pretty high here in Japan. Auction grade 4 with an interior exterior B. Automatic transmission, 5-liter V8. VIT gauges. Now I've never heard of the company VIT, but it seems like this company VITs? I don't know. It says VIT here. That's how they stylize it, I guess. VIT. And they make the wide body by the looks of it, and the wheels, and the scuff plates, and the pedals, and sounds like it's a company that I've never heard of, and so I guess I don't know the Mercedes tuning that well. Aero front fenders on it, rear wide fenders, toll collection box, 4 exit exhaust, and it's really, really noisy and deep and scary, and so sounds really good. For this type of car, it certainly suits it. Alpine 8-inch Navi screen, so that's bigger than a double din, so it's been custom fit in there. VIT scuff plate. Now I don't know what this is, and unfortunately with a car this low I can't really see underneath. I believe it's something that makes sure that your transmission doesn't get scraped up when your vehicle is way too low for most roads. Okay, what else do we have? VIT 19-inch wheels, and I'll show you those in a little bit more detail because that's one of the main draws of this car, I guess. What's this say? Digital full seg. That means you can watch TV in it. It has a reverse camera, thank goodness, because it's so wide you feel like you're going to back into everything or hit stuff on the sides. I did drive it to a parking place that was about 10 minutes away, and it's quite a beast to drive and hard to park. Okay, SD card is going to be sent to you for the navigation there. Okay, the report here says interior is dirty. The driver left a bunch of garbage in the car. I picked it all out, but there were a couple of cigarette boxes. There's a receipt for gas, and there was a McFlurry straw. You know, one of those hard ones that are really weird shaped. Interior scratched. Seat wear. It says seat rip. Weird, I didn't see that. The seats seem to be in pretty good condition. Usually the driver's seat gets kind of worn out in the side. Right here. I guess they're calling that a rip. I don't see any part that's ripped, and you can restore that fairly easily. I'm going to call them a liar. Okay, back to auction sheet over here. Headlights are cloudy, aero part cracked, oil leak. There is an oil leak, it's really mild, it's the valve cover gasket. Headliner is dirty and loose and cigarette burn. Left door tweeter cover is missing. Wheel scratched. Door mirror scratched. Here's the biggest wheel scratch. It's actually not as bad as it looks because it's very shallow. You could file that and then paint it black and nobody will notice. Okay, now the body, front bumper has lots, like crack, A3, lots of damage to it. And then the side skirt here has a lot of damage, A3 and a crack here. Other than that, the body is pretty much perfect. A couple of very mild scratches and dents, and then a medium scratch at the back here. So let's take a look. And so the body looks fantastic. The white and black with the aftermarket front grille, blackened headlights and the black wheels give it a very menacing look, especially with the white paint. I really like the front lip, what they did with the front bumper, and then that little pocket that goes into the rear tire there. Looks really nice. It is really wide, and so this type of vehicle appeals to certain people and not to others. I guess it depends on what you like in a vehicle. I happen to quite like this, but I recognize it's not a car that I would own myself. And so it's a car for people who want to get the attention, and you certainly will with this vehicle. And it's going to be fast, powerful, noisy. It's perfect. Now come along to this side, you can see the damage to the side skirt, which I'll show you a little bit more in a second. So we are pretty close to an elementary school here, and when I drove the car, not an elementary school and a middle school, but when I drove the car, the middle school was just getting out and everybody was taking a look at this car. It does have the qualities of a show car, and the widened sections look like they've been done very well. So let's take a close-up at that. Front bumper is very low, but still kind of a classy look to that. When you look at the rear though, it's brash, but in a good way. And so comes out really far, both on the front and on the rear there. Have some extra vents here. There are actually LED lights in there that are blue, and they light up the vents. You can't see them during the day. And then the back here. So the side skirt has a little part that comes up to meet the wide body here. And then the wide body comes out from the back tail lights. You can see that there's this section here where it comes out. Okay, we're on the lowest setting for the air suspension right now. And so there's room to give it a little bit more height. We're already at 8 minutes, holy smokes. But super deep wheels here. 4-piston calipers in the front with vented discs. 2 pistons in the back. And lots of dish. Now I don't know how wide these wheels are, but it's a 285 tire in the rear here, which is a really wide tire, but you can see that super stretched. It looks like you're at about 13 or 14 inches, maybe even more, for how wide your wheel is in the back here. And so once cleaned up, that wheel's going to really stand out. Okay, small little spoiler, blackened exhaust. That makes my neighbors angry. Maybe, I don't know. It's actually not loud until you drive, and then when you drive, it's like, whoa, look at me. Okay, so the exterior on this one, it's pretty amazing. Side skirt here has been damaged quite a bit, and then doesn't mount up the way that it should. Something like this should be pretty easy for the body shop to fix for you. Scraped along here as well. Okay, so inside of the car, as far as I can tell, electronically everything seems to work except for one thing, and that's it has 2 windows here. When you open the door, they both open a crack so that there's no pressure change, and then you close the door. Oh, I didn't close it fully. Let me try that again. And so it closes like that after you close the door. The one on the other side, the rear one, doesn't come open, but it does the rear one does work, as you can see there. Okay, so here's interior, and it has been all wrapped in this silver carbon fiber look wrap that probably looked really good when they put it in, but it's become old and is peeling in a couple of places. The wooden steering wheel has been painted silver, has a couple of mild cracks in the top. Here's the aftermarket gauge set. There's the modification for the 8-inch monitor. Okay, the AC doesn't seem that cold to me. It is cold, it's not super cold like I want it to be. The ashtray piece is loose, like it doesn't fit in the way that it should. Might need to be replaced. Shifting works well, and you can shift yourself here. So you can pick your own gears, drive it sort of like a manual transmission. Power steering works well. Brakes work really well. This part's sticky, and that's kind of common on Euro cars here in Japan. It might have something to do with the humidity. It's not on all of them, but on some of them it gets that way, and I'm not sure what can be done in order to fix that. Trunk release doesn't work. See? Kind of weird. And then air conditioned and heated seats with memory, and everything here works. Foldable mirrors, and they fold in just fine. And then there's where the tweeter's missing. And this one here, when I got the car, this was off. I popped it back on, but it doesn't quite fit on there right. And there was some glue, like hot glue marks inside. So looks like fitment of that has been an issue. Oh, these light up, and jewels on the pedals, and some of them are missing. Rear seats are in good shape. They probably haven't been sat in a while. If you take a look, there's kind of like a dust pattern on there. I did sit in that, and so I moved all the dust around. Probably hasn't been sat on in years, if ever. Okay, this one's peeling around a little bit, and sunroof works, but the liner is a little bit dirty. And then it said in the auction sheet that there's a cigarette burn in the liner. This one here is the only one that I found. Right here. Okay, radar detector for all your detecting needs. We're going to put the suspension up, and it's actually pretty fast. It'll raise up to the medium in about 5 seconds, and we'll raise up to the max in another 5 seconds or so. And then you'll be able to see how high that is once we get out. Rubber floor mats are a good sign because it takes care of your floor mats in there underneath. And I don't know if we can open the trunk without the key. No. Here's a giant lie. It says CL500 AMG, but it's not. It's just the regular version. But putting this body kit onto the car probably costs more than the difference. We even have an AMG special edition badge here. It is pretty common here in Japan for people to put fake AMG stuff onto their non-AMG cars. Okay, gonna go close this door. Oh, something that I always wanted to mention, I keep forgetting. These come with a dual pane glass. See, there's 2 pieces of glass there. And then that keeps it nice and quiet inside the car. That car over there also has it. So this is the CL is kind of like the S-Class coupe. And so now you can see what it looks like in the high suspension. Here you go. And that's going to be the end of the walkarounds. I hope you enjoyed this kind of monster car here. And if you have any questions, you can post them in the comments section. If you made it this far in the video, congratulations. And we're going to leave this one here. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a nice day.